This is the podcast that can go more than $28 trillion into debt without having to run out of money.
Are you talking about Evergrande?
No, I'm talking about the US government.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe it's not 20 trillion.
28.5 trillion.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So yeah, that was their limit for context.
Yep.
So they have a maximum Senate-approved limit of government debt, and essentially on the 18th, we saw Bitcoin having a massive run up because of the government debt.
Yeah, because they might default.
Because if they default,
Which they won't go to,
then the US dollar would, be terrible. But the Republicans were apparently closer than ever to not raising the debt ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't, want more reckless spending forever. Yes. Because the whole idea is to make you stop and think, okay, maybe the government should be spending less money. But, there's a whole lot of economic reasons why it's not a massive issue. But anyway.
Fair enough.
It's made into more of an issue than it is, I think.
It's true. It's a good talking point for the media.
As long as you're growing GDP. But
here's
a little little economics.
Your interest payments.
Essentially, you can keep growing government debt as long as you want, as long as you're growing GDP at a slightly faster rate. If you're growing GDP at 1% more than you're growing inflation and you're growing debt, then you're pretty much fine. Yeah.
You can cover your interest payments and all this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. Which is something that Japan had a problem with. And,
right, okay.
Because they have more debt than they can grow GDP by. Yeah. And then the debt just keeps ballooning. Yeah. And they can't, there's nothing they can do. So anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, a little economics one for you.
That's good.
Started off nice and dry.
Thank you.
We'll get back to the high energy stuff in a minute. So for the moment, though, some news.
Yeah, go for it.
So I think that's a good way to get into the episode.
I think so. Warm us up a bit.
All right. So this one would have been a shock to you. I regret telling you yesterday. I felt a little pressured, actually. I'll be honest, into revealing it early.
Okay.
Just because you were sharing your segment. I
was
like,
and then you weren't going to share your actual segment.
I wasn't going to share it.
You were just going to give me a little tidbit.
I did give you a tidbit. So this is the first one. Trump is launching a social media company.
Okay. I did see this yesterday afternoon after you told me.
Yeah. So
it went up so much that they stopped trading because of the volatility, apparently.
Yeah, so it went up 160% after the announcement of... It's a SPAC.
Yes.
So the name of the SPAC is Digital World Acquisition Corp.
Okay.
And the name of the company is TMTG. It is Trump Media and Technology Group.
Nice.
So Trump Media and Technology Group are launching... we got some fans in the background. They're launching Truth Social.
Truth Social?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, definitely get that.
So, so TMTG is Trump's new app.
Yep.
And it has a $875 million merger valuation.
Okay.
With a potential earnout of an additional $800 million in shares. So that puts a calculated value of $1.7 billion market cap.
True. Jeez.
So equity will be 1.7 at acquisition.
And this is his company that's never generated any revenue. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, it's brand new. You can pre-save it on the Apple App Store. So it's been made.
Okay.
And obviously the purpose of it is to rival the liberal media consortium.
How interesting.
And fight back against big tech, who have used their unilateral power to silence opposing views in the media.
Okay.
Which is fair enough because if I'm completely honest, I can't see why he could get banned on Twitter, and ISIS could have a Twitter account. It's literally, even if he's saying, fake news and false things, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Twitter's responsibility to be the source of the truth?
Totally.
Are they, why are they playing God and saying this is what's true and this is what isn't true?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, when you break the rules in your car, Toyota doesn't come and tell you that you can't buy any more cars.
Exactly, yeah. So, there's a certain level of, this is a platform and you should be able to say, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Twitter didn't think that. And So he's made his own thing. So it'll be the whole thing is it's non-cancelable.
Yep.
So you can hold whatever your views you want. So you could go on there with your extreme left views.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be received well, but it would be cool to see a completely centrist kind of platform.
Yeah.
But obviously it's being created by someone who's so far to the right that
it's unlikely
that it's doubtable. It's made from a system called Mastodon,
Okay.
which is an open source version of Twitter. So it's basically a competitor for Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And they copied the whole app apparently, and didn't credit Mastodon. So it's basically you know how in the early days of the Tesla Model S, what happened was Elon put out the full blueprint, full schematics, everything like that, because he wanted the world to be a better place. Like he wanted to open source everything, and he still came out on top because he just was the one that was making it. So it's exactly like that, open source version of Twitter, and it's like, oh yeah, hey guys, anyone can use it, but these guys like no credit at all. Like
Interesting.
Yeah,
we should be early adopters.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, I'd use it just for testing it out.
Yeah.
Don't want to get cancelled though.
We got to get that HQLA
I'm just going to use
tag, whatever you call it.
Oh yeah.
We got to get it.
That going. Yeah. Hey, we could be the only tech YouTubers on.
Oh yeah.
On whatever it's called.
True.
Truth Social.
True.
Coming to an iPhone near you.
Crazy. Or an Android.
Yeah.
Do they have Android?
I'd assume so, but
surely most of the demographic use Androids.
Savage. So it's it's Truth Social, and the thing is, and this is something that I haven't seen before, you can pre-save it in the Apple Store, which
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, so it must be a brand new feature.
Yeah, right. That's kind of cool. Like one day you wake up and it's just there on your phone and you can use it.
Yeah, well, I guess you can pre-save stuff. They probably got the idea from Spotify because you can pre-save tracks now.
Correct.
My next hottest story.
Yes, tell me.
Is WeWork.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
So they went public on Friday.
Did they?
Via a SPAC.
Okay.
So they were back to the public market. So
true. For the second time, right?
For the second time.
Okay.
So they've gone public at a $9 billion market cap.
Okay.
And they've gained 13% on its first day of trading, which was on Friday.
Sick.
On the 21st. And I won't mention what day it is today because of editing cycles. But Friday the 21st. So
we've got to stop saying this week, today, yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It puts a bit of pressure on the editing team. Makes Jerry work a bit harder back in the back office there.
That's true. There he is. He's laughing.
Yeah. You liked that one.
He loves it.
So SoftBank owns 65% of the equity.
Yep.
And they have invested $18.5 billion in total into the idea since the early days.
Yeah.
So they'll need to see a market cap of $27 billion before they break even.
Yeah, right.
So it'll have to go up 3x and 4x for them to make money. Yeah, so expected revenue is $3.2 billion this year.
For this year, okay.
And they have over 450,000 individual members.
Are they profitable?
I don't know at this point, but it's potentially the perfect business model for the work from home hybrid that we're kind of starting to see.
Yeah.
Because it's like a pay as you go situation.
Yep.
One of the key issues with the company, obviously, is that Adam Neumann did a lot of fraud. He was their original WeWork founder, and so in 2019 they were trying to IPO for $47 billion.
Yeah, right.
Which is significantly more.
Yeah.
5 times more than what they've actually gotten public at now.
Current, yep.
And that's when the fraud became apparent. And Adam Neumann, he still owns 800 million of the stock at this day.
Okay.
But in 2019 the company had $2.5 billion in cash when they were trying to go public, and they were losing 700 million per quarter. So they were only going to last a year after going public. So that's why that's why investors really didn't adopt the IPO, and that's why they didn't end up IPOing, because they couldn't convince people that was a good thing.
Yes.
So the company no longer has Adam Neumann as a member at all.
Okay.
So he's just an ordinary shareholder now. They had to pay $1.7 billion to get him to give up control.
Yep.
So any controlling interest,
Yep.
They had to buy it out.
Yep.
And 65% of its revenue is currently used up in the expense of renting office space. So one of the things, because everyone's heard like, oh, Adam Neumann, he did fraud, whatever.
Yep.
But no one, like, it's, a lot of people don't specifically know what, like, the fraud was or anything like that. So one of the things that he did do was he said that it's better for WeWork's business model to lease the properties and then re-rent them as their business model.
Yep.
Initially.
So lease a whole floor or something, and then lease out the individual desks.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So that was his kind of plan.
Yep.
But it turns out that he was buying the buildings in his personal name.
Oh, yeah, right.
While WeWork was leasing them off him.
Yeah, right.
And then WeWork was losing heaps
of money.
That's wild, Yeah.
Hectic.
And so he was using the money from his shares, and then he was selling his shares to other people or whatever.
Yep.
Using that money to buy a $100 million building or whatever.
Wow.
And then purposely making losses on WeWork so that he would have money. Wow. He also got caught with in his private jet. He had like a couple of bags of weed. That is international drug smuggling.
True.
Stuff like that.
Yep.
Because he was going over borders and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
So he's a little bit of a party loose guy.
Yeah.
They've also turned off for cost control since he's left. They've turned off the bottomless tap beer. So
like in the office.
Yeah. So they had unlimited beer on tap, unlimited coffee on tap.
So in all of their establishments, or whatever.
Yeah.
Really?
Like that was like a
feature.
Yeah, it was like to make it like a really cool place to work.
Okay. They've got rid of it.
And they've changed it with a 4 beer per day limit.
Really?
So which is still pretty cool.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you get four beers for free at work,
how
every
much
day,
work are you really doing if you need more than 4 beers?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. My third piece of news is that Pinterest is being taken over by PayPal.
Ah, I did hear about that.
There you go.
True.
I heard about everything, but I'm the one that's reporting on it, eh?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they want to become like a mega app or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Like Grab in Indonesia or whatever.
Yes, Grab. So the whole idea is that...
Look at this dog with his arm out the window. That seems funny.
He's having a good time.
Sorry, that was great.
He's like a person.
Yeah. He's like, there's this dog and he's like just hanging his arm out the window like he's sitting on the chair. Super funny.
Yeah, it's good quality.
Yes, PayPal, Pinterest.
Yeah, so there will be a $45 billion acquisition. Where
so they're both public, right?
Yes, they're both public.
Yep.
So PayPal has a $282 billion market cap.
Yep.
And trades under PYPL.
Yep.
And they will buy PINS, PINS. Which is currently trading at a $37 billion market cap. So they're buying it for 45.
Okay.
So there's a bit of arbitrage there if you know how to do maths.
Okay.
And it'll be a similar strategy to Facebook that took up buying Instagram and Google that bought YouTube.
Yep.
So PayPal will be able to initiate online shopping through Pinterest and gain more insights from their customers.
That's a good idea.
And they'll fully own the customer
People
buying
would
process.
do that, hey? There's some people who just scroll Pinterest constantly, right?
Yeah.
People who are building houses and stuff like that. And if you could look at something and then just click a couple of buttons and buy it, I reckon that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and...
should get on that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, the whole idea is, they'll make it a full online shopping integrated with PayPal, and payments will be done through PayPal. So, yeah.
Great. Good on them.
Good on them indeed. And that is all 3 of my hot news
Perfect.
topics.